Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have a little update on Morbius's box office. Well, let's be really clear. Morbius probably didn't have the easiest opening weekend, and most of the reviews were pretty overwhelmingly negative. Typically, this spells pretty bad news for the box office, but quite honestly, Morbius beat most expectations. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about Morbius's opening weekend and what it really could mean for the future of the character. Believe it or not, it was a lot better than many people expected. Now, before we dive into this though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, the big giveaway. We're going to give away an Oculus Quest 2 at 50,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on the giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Also, while you're at it, make sure you check out that free Week of Skillshare down below. It's a pretty cool way for you to develop your superhero skills for that never-ending war on crime, all while not diving too deep into your pockets. Plus, it really does help the channel, so we really appreciate it. Well, I think for the most part, most people agree Morbius was not the best Marvel movie ever. We actually did a full review of it, and I have to say, it's not as bad as many people were making it out, but I was a bit disappointed at various parts of it. Interestingly enough, the movie did do much better at the box office than I think people were expecting. Now, we don't have complete figures yet, but the team over at Deadline is reporting that the adaptation earned around $84 million at the global box office. They're estimating it did about $39.1 million in North America and $44.9 worldwide, which is probably lower than what many fans would consider a success, but when you consider all the details of the movie, that's not so bad. Consider the fact the movie only cost $75 million to make, and typically the red line for movies is making twice its production budget, which this is closing in on. There also has been distinctly less promotion of this movie than, say, the last Venom movie, meaning Sony has not incurred a lot of costs there. And I think this will play big for the future of the movie. Keep in mind, Venom Let There Be Carnage only made $90 million, but it was a little deeper in the pandemic era, so that might not be the best thing to compare it against. They did take the #1 slot this weekend, but Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out, and I'm sure it's going to be #1 next week. Now, the team over at Deadline did make an interesting point about when he'll return, and that low production budget being a good thing. They said, "It's likely we see Morbius co-starring in another Sony Marvel movie versus sequel. It will be hard to make a sequel for Morbius. Even if the reviews on Part 2 are through the roof, it's very hard business-wise to convince an audience of that and bring them back." Now, what they're saying is, even if another film focused on Morbius was made, it's unlikely to draw audiences back into the theater for him as a title character, but him joining other areas of the Sonyverse could possibly happen. Considering Sony does have Kraven the Hunter, Madam Web, and Spider-Woman all in production, you can see multiple places he could pop back up. Also, figuring in that post-credit scene and exactly what Sony was trying to do there is still unclear to me, but there's also the distinct possibility they're trying to lay the framework for a Sinister Six film. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, overall, I have to say, it looks like a win though for Morbius. Nobody was really expecting this movie to do really well, and honestly, this movie was made in 2019, which means those dollars are on the books 3 years ago, making this weekend an overall very positive for Sony, even if the movie didn't bust the box office. What happens next? We'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think? Do you consider Morbius a success at the box office based on its opening weekend? And where do you think the vampiric character will show up again? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.